Before we get started on what might be one of the biggest battlefield developments we've seen in a while, a quick note to everyone out there supporting Ukraine. Subscribe to Defense Reports. It's your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports. I'm Alex, joining with Arya for the latest Deep Dive by Defense Report, where we give you a sharp, no-nonsense breakdown of what's happening in global defense. And today, we have some news that's been anticipated for a very long time. It's finally happened. Ukraine has fired the German RCH-155.
It is a huge moment, Alex, a genuine shockwave. We're talking about the remote-controlled howitzer 155mm. For anyone who follows this stuff, the RCH-155 has been this almost mythical piece of gear designed specifically for the modern drone war, and now it's live.
And what's really wild is that Ukraine is the first country to ever use this in combat. Not the German army, not anyone else. This is a baptism by fire, literally.
That's right. And that's our mission today. We need to break down what makes this thing so revolutionary, especially its, famous fire on the move capability.
And also what its complicated deployment tells us. I mean, why did it take so long?
Exactly. What does this reveal about European defense priorities and really the future of artillery itself?
Okay, so let's set the stage with a paradox, because it's a big one.
Yeah.
You've got two major NATO powers, the UK and Germany. They only just, in late December 2025, formalized a deal to start testing a few of these.
Just testing. Meanwhile, Ukraine got its first unit way back in January 2025, almost a year earlier, and they've been preparing for the front line this whole time.
It really shows you NATO procurement is still on this slow peacetime schedule, while Ukraine is just setting the standard in real time.
And here's the really counterintuitive part, the big cliffhanger. You'd think a complex automated gun would be the holdup, right?
Of course.
No. This high-speed system was delayed for months because of driver training. Just learning how to handle a chassis it sits on.
That sounds insane. We have to get into that.
We will, because mastering that chassis is the key to survival. It's all about using automation to beat the Russian kill chain in this new age of drone warfare.
All right, let's unpack the technology. At its heart, the RCH-155 is all about mobility and automation. So, Arya, start with the platform itself. Why the GTK Boxer?
The Boxer is, well, it's a monster. It's a heavy-duty, highly protected 8x8 wheeled vehicle. We're talking 39 tons.
So it's heavy, but is it fast?
That's the thing, it is. Over 100 kilometers per hour on roads, with a range of 700 kilometers. It can move, and it can relocate across the front very, very quickly.
And you said protected. In today's fight, that's everything. How protected are we talking?
Very. It meets STANAG 4569 Level 4. For you at home, that basically means it can take hits from 14.5mm armor-piercing rounds, heavy machine guns, that sort of thing. It's designed to keep the crew safe.
And the crew is tiny, right? Only 2 people. That's where the automation kicks in.
Exactly. The firepower comes from the artillery gun module, the AGM. It's a completely unmanned turret. The cannon itself is the L-52, which is the same proven gun from the PZH-2000, arguably one of the best howitzers out there.
So you get the punch of a PZH-2000. But because the turret is fully automated, the crew drops from 5 or 6 people down to just a driver and a commander.
Which is a massive deal for manpower, especially in a long war.
Okay, so crew reduction is a huge win. What about firepower and range?
It's fast. It can fire up to 9 rounds a minute. It carries 30 fused rounds ready to go, plus 144 modular charges. But yeah, the range is the game changer. Standard shells go out to 40 kilometers.
Okay, that's respectable.
But then you add advanced VLAP projectiles and you're hitting 54 kilometers.
And with the really smart stuff, the precision-guided munitions.
Then you're reaching out to 70 kilometers. With things like Volcano or Excalibur, Ukraine can now hit high-value targets command posts, supply hubs from way outside the range of most Russian counterfire.
70 kilometers is a massive standoff distance. But let's get to the headline feature, the one that makes this thing unique in the world. Fire on the move. How is that even possible for a howitzer?
This is where it gets really next level. The technology is basically borrowed from main battle tank gun stabilization systems. Okay.
Think of a gimbal on a professional movie camera. The person can be running, but the camera stays perfectly stable. The gun barrel here is like that camera.
So the computer's doing all the work.
Constantly. It's calculating every single bounce, every tilt of the vehicle. It knows the vehicle's position, it knows the barrel's position, and it only gives the fire command for the split second. The barrel is perfectly aligned on the target, even while the chassis is moving underneath it.
Wow. So it's just waiting for that perfect moment to pull the trigger.
Precisely. And that leads directly to survivability. It doesn't need to stop and deploy stabilizers or support legs like, say, the Archer system does. That saves critical time. It can just continuously move, shoot, and scoot.
Which brings us to the big question. If this thing is so perfect for this war, why the long delay? We know Ukraine had 54 on order, paid for by Germany. The first one was handed over in January 2025. What took so long? Well, that first unit was for training. Everyone hoped to see them on the front by spring 2025, maybe April, but the timeline kept slipping, and it really just comes down to the sheer complexity of the system and the need for total mastery.
And this is that paradox we mentioned. The delay wasn't the gun, it was the driving.
It was 100% about the driving. The first phase of training for the Ukrainian crews under the EU mission was focused almost entirely on mastering the Boxer chassis, not the gun, the vehicle itself.
But why is it so much harder to drive than a tank?
Because you're not just driving, you're driving in a way that allows the gun's computer to do its job. It's a 39-ton vehicle with a high center of gravity. If the driver takes a slope too fast, or hits a bump the wrong way while the gun is aiming,
It throws off the whole calculation.
it throws everything off. Or worse, you risk a rollover. The training is brutal. High-speed slaloms, extreme slopes, reversing with limited visibility. It's not about being fast, it's about being perfectly smooth under extreme pressure.
So the training time reflects that.
Massively. For context, training a crew on the tracked PZH-2000 takes about 7 weeks. Training just the vehicle handling for the RCH-155 takes several months. That mastery is the foundation. Without it, the whole concept falls apart.
If you can't drive it perfectly, you can't use its best feature, and if you can't move continuously, you don't survive.
And that is the #1 lesson from Ukraine. The old shoot and scoot is too slow now. The battlefield is saturated with FPV drones with loitering munitions like the Lancet. Any static position is a target within minutes, sometimes seconds.
Russia has adapted too. They've moved away from just massive, dumb artillery barrages.
Yeah, they've shifted to a much more agile counter-battery strategy. They're hunting individual howitzers now, using a layered system of drones like the Orlan 10 to find targets and then hitting them fast. The kill chain is incredibly short.
So the RCH-155 is the answer to that.
Yeah.
To make the window of vulnerability practically zero.
Exactly. It can fire, start moving while the autoloader is doing its work, and be a kilometer away before the enemy drone even arrives at its last position. And we have data to back this up.
All right, we saw that simulation data from KNDS. What did it show?
It was fascinating. They ran a simulation comparing a mobile RCH-155 to a classic shoot-and-scoot howitzer. In mobile mode, the RCH-155 destroyed 35 enemy systems and only lost 5.6 of its own.
And in the classic mode?
It still destroyed 31 enemy systems, but it lost 10 of its own. So you're looking at nearly double the survival rate just by using its unique mobility. It proves the doctrine. Mobility is life.
And the brain that makes that mobility lethal is Ukraine's own battle management system, Kropivaya.
Oh, absolutely. Kropipa is the digital nervous system of their army. It allows targeting data from a drone or a spotter to flow directly into the RCH-155's computer. No voice commands, no human error, no delay.
Just a seamless, automated target handoff.
Instantaneous. And there's one more piece to this puzzle, a defensive layer. Another vehicle in the Boxer family called the AITO-30. It's like the bodyguard for the artillery.
What does the AITO-30 do?
It's a mobile command post and an anti-drone shield, all on the same Boxer chassis, which is great for logistics. It has a 30mm autocannon that fires programmable airburst ammunition.
Ah, so it creates a wall of shrapnel to take out small drones.
Precisely. It creates a protective bubble around the valuable RCH-155s, keeping them safe from cheap FPVs, while it coordinates the fire mission data from Kropiva. It's a complete integrated system.
Okay, so Ukraine has mastered the system. What does this deployment mean for the rest of Europe, for NATO, who seem to be moving so much slower?
Well, this is the wake-up call. For the UK, the RCH-155 is seen as the final replacement for the AS-90s they gave to Ukraine. They're using the Swedish Archer as a stopgap, but this is the long-term plan.
And that joint testing framework between the UK and Germany is their attempt to speed things up.
It is. They're trying to force themselves to move faster by sharing test data and streamlining the whole procurement process. They know they're behind the curve that Ukraine is setting.
And for the UK, using the Boxer platform is a huge industrial win, right?
It's a massive logistical win. They already have over 600 Boxer APCs on order, so same chassis, same parts, same driver training. It just simplifies everything for their military.
And Germany is also committing big. They're planning to buy hundreds of these for themselves. This is just about helping Ukraine.
Not at all. This is about future-proofing their own defense. But beyond that, it's actually rebuilding European industry. There's a really critical detail in the source material. The UK is now going to manufacture the 155mm barrels for all the RCH-155s, for the UK, for Germany, and for Ukraine.
Wow, so that's bringing back a manufacturing capability the UK lost years ago.
Exactly. A capability lost in 2016 is coming back online. It's making Europe's defense supply chain more resilient. It's a collective project, really driven by necessity.
So, to wrap this all up, the RCH-155 really feels like the next evolution of artillery. It's about networking, automation precision, survivability, not just lobbing shells.
It's a mobile, protected, precision asset. Its deployment is a tactical victory for Ukraine, for sure, but it's also a huge strategic nudge to the rest of Europe.
So what's a final thought for defense planners in London, Berlin, and Brussels who are all watching this unfold?
The final provocative question is this. Everyone is waiting for Ukraine's battlefield data to prove the system works. But how quickly will that data force them to move past just testing and into mass production? Will they finally start buying equipment at the speed of relevance to match the threat that is literally on their doorstep?
You've been listening to Defense Report by Alex and Aria, where we analyze the latest in military strategy, global defense, and advanced weaponry. Subscribe to Defense Reports, your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports. We'll catch you next time.